Welcome to the match analysis of match 25 of IPL 2025, Csk vs Kkr. Let's start the analysis. So, this is how I think CSK are going to line up for today. Obviously, the unfortunate news of Rutraj Gaikwad being ruled out of the rest of the season will mean that somebody will have to come in place of him. It is usually unlike of CSK to make a lot of major changes. Obviously, they've done that this year, but I think they want to stick to the same team for another couple of games to really see what they can get out of it. I don't really see any other major changes apart from Gaikwad going out and Rahul Tripathi or Shaikh Rashid coming. I think it'll be an interesting opportunity to give Shaikh Rashid a chance because it's very unlike IPL for you to get a chance to play 9 or 10 games in a season and get that kind of experience. CSK have really backed Shaikh Rashid. I'm a fan of CSK and I've been following the team for a while, so I know that he's been part of the roster for a very long time, upwards of 5-6 years. And obviously they back him a lot. They really believe that he can create an impact for the team. They might be tempted to play him, or they go back to Rahul Tripathi, who hasn't really been in form, but over the last few years has shown that number 3 is where he thrives. CSK had played him at as an opener for a while, and I didn't really think that experiment worked out. Otherwise, Rachin Ravindra and Devon Conway will open the batting. Vijay Shankar at 4, Shivam Dubey at 5, Dhoni at 6, Ravindra Jadeja at 7, Ashwin at 8, Noor Ahmed at 9, Mukesh Chaudhary, Khalil Ahmed and Matisha Patirana will continue to lead the pace attack. This is how I think KKR will line up. I don't think there'll be any changes. Obviously, KKR they weren't able to get past LSG in their previous game, losing by just 4 runs. But nonetheless, they got to a score of 234, which is very promising. And I think the KKR lineup is pretty well adaptable to most conditions, so there will not be any major change. And the pace attack will be likely to continue because they have 2 world-class spinners in Varun Chakravarti and Sunil Narayan, so I don't see any changes for them today. So let's go on to the analysis of the conditions. The stadium in Chepauk is not a high-scoring venue. The average first innings score is 172 and the average second innings score is 168. The average winning score is 186. So most teams want to get within that range of 180 to 186 because that's been usually the area of success for a lot of teams. Matches won batting first is 4, matches won batting second is 6 over the last 10 games. And I think there is some amount of discernible advantage to batting first, but also teams have had relative success batting second because of the dew factor. But usually what I've observed is that teams tend to win the toss and choose to bat first. And that's something that's really been a tactic that's dominated Chepauk for a lot of years. But in recent times, the last couple of tosses that CSK have won, they've won the toss and chosen to bowl. So there might be something in the conditions that's forcing them to do that. Another crucial point is that the pitch is getting very difficult to read ever since BCCI had stepped in as the monitor for the pitches. It's been a concern that's been voiced by a lot of coaches, including the KKR and CSK management, who've said that the pitches are not curated for the teams that they've picked, and we'll see why that is so important as we go on further into our analysis. So these are the wicket-taking stats for at Chepauk over the last couple of years. Over the last 10 games, there's been 30 wickets in the power play for pacers and just 5 for spinners. The middle overs, there's been 20 for pacers, 28 for spinners, and 24 in the death for pacers and 7 in the spinners. Typically, spinners don't bowl past the 14th or 15th over. From the data that I've collected, there's not been a wicket to spin past the 15th over. Um, so we have power play is going to have a little bit of edge to pace bowlers. I wouldn't recommend bringing the spinners into the power play. Obviously, CSK have done that over the last couple of games and have gotten severely punished for that tactic. Ravichandran Ashwin has been very expensive in the power play, and I think both teams should plan a tactic in which they bowl 6 overs of pace in the power play, uh, because the wicket taking opportunity is very high. If you look at of all the phases, power play is really where the pace bowlers have a good opportunity of picking up wickets. As the game goes on and the pitch wears a little bit, it's not going to help the pace bowlers a lot. Moving on to the middle overs, there is a little bit for pace bowlers, but this middle over phase is usually for the spinners. 28 wickets picked up. It'll be a very slow phase. We'll delve further into that in the analysis. And death overs, typically there are not a lot of wickets in the death overs, but it's dominated by pace. There is no real support for the spinners or the pace bowlers. There's going to be a dew factor that comes in. The ball gets old, so the major run scoring opportunities really come into play during the death overs. So, like we did in the previous game, we'll go into the phase analysis. How do we break down the game, and how do we check which team is ahead at which stage? So the power play is your attacking phase. A lot of the momentum that you get, you're gonna have to score the runs in the power play. Yes, there's a lot of wicket taking opportunity for pace bowlers, but if you can get that momentum, if you can get that start, typically in matches where wickets have not gone in the power play, teams have easily scored 200 despite the slow nature of Chepauk. Scoring runs and building a momentum in the power play is going to be very crucial, because it's going to be difficult to make it up in the second phase. So I think CSK are going to have Rachin Ravindra, Devon Conway, and either Rahul Tripathi or Sheikh Rashid. In this combination, it's going to be Rachin Ravindra who's going to go in guns blazing. He's not had a lot of success, he's not been in a lot of form, but I think it can all change in the matter of one game. Devon Conway is someone who can play at both paces, but given the fact that he wasn't really hitting at his best in the previous game, they had to retire him out. I think he'll want to take a little bit more of an aggressive approach in this game. Tripathi or Sheikh Rashid, it's pretty obvious how they're going to play. They're going to try and come in the 6th or 7th over, try and play in through the second phase, and really build their innings slowly. Don't expect them to come out and swing at the ball a lot. So the bowlers who will be bowling at CSK, Spencer Johnson, Harshit Rana and Vaibhav Arora. Out of this, I'm not so convinced of Spencer Johnson. He's not had a great time at the IPL so far. I don't know how good the tactic of picking Spencer Johnson is above Andrik Nokia. Andrik Nokia is an experienced pace bowler. I think they've picked Spencer Johnson off the form that he was in BBL, and also the fact that he got picked for the Australian Champions Trophy squad. I think they're really backing him here, and this is going to be a game where he has to prove himself, given the support for pace bowlers in the first 6 overs. Harshit Rana and Vaibhav Arora are the main wicket-taking bowlers. They're going to be bowling aggressive lines to Devon Conway and Rachin Ravindra. That's going to be a very crucial matchup. How Rachin Ravindra and Devon Conway are able to negotiate these pace bowlers and get runs off them in the power play. And these two matchups are going to decide, when CSK are batting, who's really going to come out on top. For KKR batting, Quinton de Kock and Sunil Narayan pretty obviously going to open the innings, and you're going to have Ajinkya Rahane at 3. It's a solid top order, and I think KKR have a very good advantage in this regard. Despite the fact that Khalil Ahmed is picking up wickets, he has struggled a lot against left-arm batsmen. Quinton de Kock and Sunil Narayan are going to be the two batsmen that Khalil Ahmed is going to struggle a lot with. Most of the wickets that he's picked up have been right-handers, and The main two left armers that not only Khalil Ahmed but the entire CSK squad have really struggled against were Nitish Rana and Priyansh Arya, who really got going in the power play. Mukesh Chaudhary has not been firing. I won't be surprised if Anshul Kamboj is played ahead of Mukesh Chaudhary just to get that extra angle against Quinton de Kock and Sunil Narayan. But it's unlike CSK to drop a player like Mukesh Chaudhary who's already played for them for a season in 2022 to drop him and then pick another player just 2 games into the season. So I think Mukesh Chaudhary will play, but he struggled a lot. I expect KKR to score a lot of runs. I think they will go above that 52 mark, maybe a 60 is what I'm expecting out of them. Uh, Ajinkya Rahane has been in great form, and I'm not sure if he will even come into the power play, but uh, I think if he does, then CSK are in a lot of trouble. Yeah, so the middle over phase is the phase that's really going to be dominated by the spinners. For CSK's batting, you will have Shivam Dubey who takes on the spinners, and Vijay Shankar and Rahul Tripathi who try to negotiate the spinners and keep the strike rotating. I think Rahul Tripathi will try and take on the spinners, and Vijay Shankar will probably look to go over his head, over the spinner's head, and try and hit straight. He's had a lot of success there, but the runs usually don't come by very easily in this phase. A lot of wickets, like we saw. This is the main wicket taking phase for spinners, and there's also a little bit of support for pace bowlers in this phase. Um, so it'll be interesting to see how Sunil Narayan and Varun Chakravarti will target Shivam Dubey. A tactic that was used even by Punjab was to keep Yuzvendra Chahal out when Shivam Dubey was batting, and this could be used by KKR because they have a couple of tall bowlers like Spencer Johnson and Andre Russell who can hit the deck hard and really give Shivam Dubey a difficult time with a short ball. But I don't really think it's a great idea because on a pitch like Chepauk, which is usually very slow, the short ball doesn't really have a lot of success, especially in the middle overs, because the ball's going to slow down and it's going to get easier to hit. So I think most likely Sunil Narayan and Varun Chakravarti will dominate this phase. They will be bowling to Shivam Dubey and Vijay Shankar and Rahul Tripathi, and the average score is about 60 for 2 in these 7 overs, which is around 8.5 runs an over, which I understand is a little bit high, but it really depends on the batting. If you want to get a 180, 185, this is the pace that you have to go at in this phase. This is really the make or break phase in Chepauk. If any team is losing more than 2 wickets in this phase, the 180 score will be very very difficult to get for the batting team. And I think this is the phase around which the CSK management have also built their bowling attack around. Ravichandran Ashwin, Ravindra Jadeja, and Noor Ahmed. They're going to be they're the most potent spin attack. Obviously, they've not picked up the wickets. Noor Ahmed is the purple cap holder, but Ravichandran Ashwin and Ravindra Jadeja have rarely actually finished their quotas. Ashwin has been very expensive because he's been brought into the power play, and then he's just not had the momentum to go forward and then bowl economically. Ravindra Jadeja is introduced very late into the innings. Typically, what I've observed as a CSK fan over the last few years is that Jadeja's entry point is at the 7th over, and it's guaranteed that he finishes a spell. He's a bowler that you can back to bowl that 28 to 30 in 4 overs, and maybe pick up a wicket along the way. But he's one of the most consistent players, and the tactic of 3 spinners has really complicated Jadeja's Jadeja's role in the bowling attack, and it's not very clear whether they want to use Jadeja as a batsman either. Last year, you could see Jadeja coming in at 5 and really taking an active role with the bat, but this year he's been pushed down the order. Obviously, MS Dhoni coming back to form is another factor, but when your middle order is not firing, you'd want a batsman like Ravindra Jadeja up there. So Jadeja is going to be useful in this phase with both ball and bat. I'd want to see him bat, but I don't think the management is doing it for Jadeja. KKR's batsmen during this phase will be Venkatesh Iyer, Ankush Raghuvanshi, and Ajinkya Rahane. Expect Ajinkya Rahane to play the longer innings, to be the anchor. So here, I think KKR are going to be quite dominant with their batting. Ankush Raghuvanshi is a beautiful player of spin, a very elegant player. So is Ajinkya Rahane, and Venkatesh Iyer's height is really going to come into use when playing Noor Ahmed and to an extent even Ravichandran Ashwin. He's a decent player of spin, Venkatesh Iyer, but he's really going to be the one who's going to try and keep the tempo up during this phase. He's not going to do the same things that Shivam Dube does, but he has his own style of aggression. And while KKR may not have the two slower players, obviously Vijay Shankar and Tripathi will be playing that role. I think all three players will be playing at a similar strike rate. Venkatesh Iyer a little bit higher than the other two batsmen. So in this phase, I think KKR will have a slight edge on CSK, especially given their bowling and how Varun Chakravarti's form has been in the Champions Trophy. It's faded a little bit for KKR. It's not been that great, but the experience of Varun Chakravarti and Sunil Narayan, the fact that Shivam Dube hasn't been hitting a lot. Obviously, he played decently the previous game, but it's not been the Dube that was prevalent in 2024 and 2023. Vijay Shankar is just not hitting it. Several dropped catches later, he did get a 70. That can boost his confidence, but I'm not very convinced. And Tripathi and Sheikh Rashid will struggle. The bowlers of CSK, they're not looking good, but experience can get them over the line. It's really going to be the CSK bowling during the middle order that's going to decide how well they play. But still a slight edge to KKR, but I wouldn't be surprised if CSK come out ahead in this phase. So in the third phase, 14 to 20 is your last hitting phase. Runs are not going to be that easy to come by in the second phase, so you have to keep a lot of your hitting for this phase. 6 overs, 64 for 3. You should because when the ball gets old, there's not going to be a lot of support for the spin bowlers and the pace bowlers. So this is really your best chance to hit the runs. Dhoni has had a lot of success, especially in this phase. Shivam Dube will I expect to play into this phase if he's in form, or Vijay Shankar might do that. One of those batsmen from the middle order will play into this phase, and Dhoni and Jadeja are going to be their big hitters. Jadeja has not been in great batting form, but experience is experience. At the end of the day, in T20 cricket, experience is one of the most important factors. Dhoni has been hitting the ball very well. Obviously, the ask of him has been quite a lot in most games where he comes in. The required rate is 16 to 17 in over, sometimes even 20 when he's coming into bat. Dhoni is typically a player who likes to take 5 to 6 balls to get settled in and then hit big. So I think the criticism about his slow start is quite unfair because of the conditions that he's come into. But if CSK are batting first, then that's going to give him a lot more freedom on how he wants to hit. The bowlers for CSK in this phase will be Matisha Patirana and Mukesh Chowdhury. Typically, CSK have bowled only 2 overs of Mukesh Chowdhury in the power play. So 3 overs of Patirana in the death and then 2 of Mukesh Chowdhury plus 1 of Khalil Ahmed is how I expect them to bowl. But if Khalil Ahmed finishes off his spell earlier, then maybe an over of Noor Ahmed or Ravichandran Ashwin. But neither of them have really done well in this phase. So for KKR, their batsmen, I think this is one of KKR's strongest phases because they have the RRR of Rinku, Russell and Ramandeep. 3 big hitters who can really make an impact on the game. But Russell has not really been in form over the last couple of years. He's really not gotten going before in this IPL. Rinku Singh is someone that they haven't utilized, I think, to his full potential. Form has been difficult for Rinku Singh to come by, and Ramandeep just needs a little bit more of experience. So while this attack is very very potent, CSK do have a very good chance of coming in and really causing trouble in this phase and getting KKR to get below that 64 for 3, getting them to a 55 or a 56 can mean a winning score gets to a pass score. That 5 to 6 runs is going to be really crucial. And Matisha Patirana is going to be the main man for CSK in this phase, bowling against KKR. I think KKR's bowling attack in this phase is quite lacking. It's something that I thought of when the auction was going on. I think when Andrik Nokia was taken, I expected him to play, but Spencer Johnson's inclusion in the squad makes it seem like KKR's death bowling is lacking. Harshit Rana is a genuine wicket taker. Vaibhav Arora has proven that he can do it in the death to an extent, but I think this is a relatively inexperienced pace bowling attack. If you're going to have to bowl 6 overs in the death to MS Dhoni and Ravindra Jadeja, so I think this phase is quite even, but I want to give a slight edge to CSK, uh, given the fact that they have Matisha Patirana, a genuine death bowler who's been in good form. Yes, the previous game wasn't great for him, but he performed above average in the other 3 games. And the fact that MS Dhoni is clicking, the new captain could bring about a change, and CSK have had some time to rest and come into this game. It's a home game, so I feel like while KKR might have a slight edge of 52-48, I have a feeling CSK are going to win today. My analysis is that KKR have a slight edge of 52-48, but don't be surprised if CSK come here and end their 4 match losing streak. It's very unlike CSK to have a long losing streak. It reminds me of 2020 and 2022, where CSK went on a losing streak and then weren't able to really recover. But it's something that can easily be overturned, as the management has shown us in the past. After 2020, CSK came out and won 2021, and after 2022, CSK had that miracle season, that final in Ahmedabad where they beat Gujarat Titans and won in 2023. So uh, the most important thing here is how are CSK able to come back, and for KKR, a team that's not really been that successful this IPL, despite having a really good team, form has been the main issue for them. So this is going to be a very interesting game to see from two teams who are looking quite good on paper, which team will really come into fruition for the rest of the IPL. This is a really crucial game because both teams are struggling, and a win here, it's not only 2 points on the table, but also a belief that qualification is still alive. Too. So that was the analysis video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Hear Me Out by SHK. Thank you.